What's up?
What's going on, man?
Hell yeah, buddy. It's good to see you.
You as well. How things been?
Good, good. How you been?
Oh, shit's been all right. Shit's been rough. Today was a rough day for a hell of a sure.
Really? What
I
kind of
took
work you
a,
do again?
I do snow management. I work for a landscaping company, actually, I gotta fix my lighting here. My lighting sucks. I work for a landscape and snow management company, but my year is always focused on snow. So every second of every day,
Yeah.
I'm worrying about the next snow season for my company.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I am bringing back all the equipment with my brother and one other guy, and just fixing it all, maintaining it, making sure everything is crisp, cream, and cropped and ready for next year. And then anything that we are getting rid of, we get rid of, and then new stuff we bring in, trucks, equipment, stuff like that. We take it apart and build it and put it together. Like brand new 2024 F350s and F550s, we pull them in and go, that's nice. Rip the whole front end apart, put on plows and put on new lights, cut holes in the bodies and strobes, and how do you do? Have a good day. So
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of work, man.
it goes into separately.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're kicking and trying to trying to keep going, man.
Hell yeah. Now, when does snow start for you guys?
Well, I mean, realistically, I mean, that really depends on the year.
October, November?
Just about,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just about average time is when it comes to that.
So one of our daughters lives in Utah in the Salt Lake City area, and we were talking to her a couple days ago. She sent a picture to everybody, to all her siblings, all our kids that are here, and to us. It was snowing on Friday in
Holy
Salt Lake
crap!
City. No, it was
Well,
yeah, it was Friday. It was snowing. And where I was like, in May. This is crazy, bro.
I mean, there have been years like I mean, up here in the past, we have had a couple of years where it snowed out to the end of April, the very beginning of May.
Yeah.
Like I mean, nothing crazy. We did have, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had a blizzard in May, but I mean not April, but that was the last weird spatter of that.
Yeah. Well, I remember growing up in the Cleveland area, Cleveland, Ohio, and it was we had a few years where it snowed in May, you know, and we were like, what the hell? Because it would get warm in April.
Yep.
We're like, yes. And then it snowed.
Yeah, you think April showers bring May flowers, and then all of a sudden the temperature just goes
Uh-huh.
one time, and then everything comes back. I mean, and that's how it is around here. I can't even tell you. Like past couple of nights, it's been a little bit cooler, a little bit of rain here and there, and like today, although I hurt myself at work today, but it was
Oh,
70 degrees.
yeah.
But tomorrow it's supposed to be, I think, a little bit cooler, and then slowly go back down, and then hold a cap. So it's like New England weather just doesn't know how to make up its mind. It's either like it's Miami, Florida, or it's like it's Antarctica. So you pick and choose. You really don't know.
That's so true. Yep. That's funny. Well, I mean, the weather affects a big part of our lives because we, like our
Oh yeah.
plans and that kind of thing. So we tend to talk about it a lot. I remember when I first started having people on here or that were from the UK, they would always say
Yep.
something about their weather and they'd say, "Oh, it's such a British thing to do to talk about the weather." And I'm like, honestly, that's what we do too. Like all of us, we talk about the weather a lot. So
Yep.
it
No, I
happens.
mean everything comes down to it because everything you do dictates in what happens
Yeah,
basically on the weather, no matter what
absolutely.
you do.
Well, welcome, man. I appreciate you being on again. It's been a
No,
while.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think this will be third time's the charm. So
Yeah, man. This is great. Yeah, because the last time I think so I had you on the first time by yourself.
yep,
Then you were on with one of your teammates.
yep. One of my old teammates at the time. Yep.
Yep, old teammates at the time. And then and now. So it's
Back
cool.
at it, man. We're
Yeah,
kicking
buddy.
chickens. We're having some fun. So, I mean,
Awesome.
realistically, I think some new things that I mean, I'm sure that you follow along, and I'm following you guys and all your podcasts and stuff. Great.
Yeah. Thank you,
Um,
man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I follow your Instagram and I see what you're up to.
no, it's crazy, but I mean, realistically, I think we just got linked in with Spearhead Group, and we've been with EG, but we got linked in with Spearhead Group, which is going to be awesome. As of right now, they just have some merchandise that's available, um, but they're going to be making some big, cool things when it comes to gear and cold weather stuff, and moving into that aspect of like the 2A and being preparation and outdoor stuff. So I'm
Gotcha.
excited to be working with them.
Yeah, definitely want to hear about that too. And speaking of that, a shout out to the sponsors of this podcast. Skirmish is a sponsor of this podcast of this episode, and Jackal Tactical up in Pennsylvania. And appreciate each of you guys for sponsoring podcast. If you guys aren't familiar with Skirmish, go check it out at skirmish.net. It
Oh,
is. Oh, I got to turn that off, man. That's loud
let
as
me
hell.
help you. Let me help you out a little bit, E-Rock. Let me just do this
Oh, there you go. Skirmish. Perfect, dude.
right there.
I love it. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, Brandon over there at Skirmish, him and I have been rocking the remote in this system for gosh, over a year now. And
Yep.
yeah, man. And then Jackal Tactical is a fairly new sponsor. Last few months of the podcast, they're out in PA. Paul Whitman runs that. If you guys aren't following them, go to jacktac.com and skirmish.net and get all their socials and start following them. Let them know that you heard about them from this podcast. So yeah, man, that's Skirmish is making some big moves now because they've got Balahack
Yep.
did a big event a few months ago, and then the 6 millimeter Mandalorian out in
Yep.
Wisconsin.
I've been seeing those. When I see those
Yeah,
ads come up, those are kind of cool. The amount of times that people get into the game and like that. I mean, the Star Wars doing it like that, that's cool. But like I saw like some
right.
pictures from ACS Noob Day.
Uh-huh.
I saw some Halo costumes. Unreal.
Yes, it was awesome.
That would be an event that I would love to see. Like if I had the money to build the loadout just for fun, that would definitely be something I would do.
Uh-huh.
Is a Halo themed event.
Absolutely.
I would
Well,
definitely be down for that.
I was talking to somebody, it might have been Brandon. We were talking about the Star Wars event, and I was like, man, somebody needs to do a Halo event and a Gears of War event. For
At a
real.
riff, I'd be down.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody needs to make a the Lancer from Gears of War, you know, the with the chainsaw on the front. Need to make
Yep,
that
it's
airsoft
actually
gun.
funny. There was a kid that used to I haven't gone to the field in a little while, but there was a kid up at a local field here in Fremont that actually bought one of those, just the plastic body. It was nothing fancy,
Yeah.
and he took the guts and innards of an M4 and slapped a Polar Star in it, and he was running around with that, and
Oh, awesome.
it worked out pretty good. But I don't know how well that would hold up beating it around and throwing it all over the place all the time.
Right.
But no, definitely that would be. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Eve like doesn't already make something like that.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, that's
But I
so
remember,
how did you get in with EG and or a Spearhead group recently?
well, EG was just something simple as I ended up reaching out to them a long time ago. Just kind of putting my foot in the door, just kind of saying, hey, I'm a content creator. I love your product. I use your product all the time.
Yeah.
Um, just kind of seeing how it was. And at the time, they weren't looking. They were like, actually, we just ended up closing out. We just brought on a bunch of new people. So we'll keep your information. We'd love to reach out, in the future. And I said, absolutely. Excuse me. So, it was, I would say probably 6, 7 months later, I just had the Insta message like, hey, just kind of curious if you're still interested. Absolutely. Shoot me an email. Let's chit chat, whatever. I got linked in with their representative and we had been talking. We not necessarily signed the paperwork, but we kind of came to terms on some agreements. I got a discount code that I was able to give to everybody. And it worked out. They ended up closing down that program for the affiliates in terms of like the code,
Mm.
because they just didn't see a lot of the revenue. Like they would see more of the money coming in from offsite selling in terms of them bulk sale and wholesaling to places and people buying them that way. Or if like I was to say, hey, when you go to this field, buy these EGs off these people, blah blah blah. That's where they would see them more,
Oh,
rather
okay.
than myself going, hey, go to eg.com and throw in my code.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of people didn't want to pay a hazmat fee, which I didn't mind, and I don't think anybody should. If you're going to place an order that's a decent size, like I plan to have like the smokes that I have in my cabinet here are for at minimum 5 events,
Mm.
so it covers me 3 to 4 smokes per day for a cup 4 2-day events.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I looked at it, and then it's a one-time $40 hazmat fee.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha. Okay.
But so they're doing a lot of stuff right now. They're trying to change things around because they ended up having that gentleman leave the company. So they're trying to make new things and trying to reset the program and how it's going to work for affiliates.
Mm.
Um, and then Spearhead Group, it was kind of just the same thing. I liked the things that I was seeing. I was talking to one of his other affiliates that I follow on Instagram and stuff, just kind of about what they were about. I reached out to the owner and was just, hey, I really like what you're about. I would love to see what you have coming in the future. I just placed an order for some patches, yada yada yada. Kind of got to shooting the stuff and ended up, being like, hey, I would love to represent you if you ever were looking to, put out that thing. And it
Yeah.
just right then and there, it just kind of came to it. So locked in a little thing there, and we're kind of holding to. He's got some stuff coming out towards the end of this year, but a lot of the newer things and working into the cold weather gear and plate carrier placards, that stuff's going to be starting and coming in more of like 20. Yep, there you go. That's them
Okay.
guys right there.
Yeah, I wanted to bring him up because I actually hadn't heard of him yet. So I just went to their Instagram and followed them and see what they're about. So okay. So right now they're doing like merch, like
Yep,
hats
they've
and
currently
patches and
just
stuff.
got their merch stuff out. I don't know how much info I can get, but I will say that I was talking to him. He's got some new stuff coming out within the next
Okay.
month and a half or so, I
Yeah.
believe. I don't want to quote on that, but he did say that he was having some fresh new stuff coming out that's going to be hitting the site pretty soon here. Um, I'm excited. I'm going to be getting a little bit of a care package from him to start that off to kind of show out there the blood money flags. I got my blood money patch right here behind me. I'm running my Spearhead Corporations patch on the arm.
Nice.
Um, but no, solid guy. Jacob is a solid dude. He attends a lot of American Milsim events.
Okay.
Um, he's out there in the field. He's playing with the people. He knows what the people are looking for. He knows what the people like to see, want to see. I've done my extensive research with him and kind of chatted with him, and he's definitely got his
Okay.
head on his shoulders when it
That's
comes to what
cool.
he's trying to do and what he's moving forward to.
So are they up in your area then? Or
I want to say I want to say New York. Don't call me. Hang
hmm.
on a second.
I was trying to look. That's pretty cool. So pretty recent. They just started.
Yep, I want to say it was within the past year and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say New York, but don't quote.
Yeah, up in that in your guys' area. So yeah, that's I see other Instagram. They've got a lot of pictures with from the field
Yep.
where they're at with these guys. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, that's
No,
the
so I'm
thing.
excited. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that affiliate marketing thing, that's I I I guess that would be I could see how it can be an issue or, these companies have um maybe a difficult time with it or something. I don't know, because not only like especially for a larger company that's been around for a while, it has a really good reputation, their name is on
Yep.
the line. They don't want to give out this they don't want anyone to be running around with their code. Not
Right.
it's not about the code, but like hey, I want to, don't misrepresent,
Right,
you know,
right,
don't give us a bad name, because that means a lot, you know.
right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, so when it comes down to it, so like there ended up being it was like for example with Enola Gay, there were some issues with a couple of the shipments that were I ordered some personal stuff. There was another shipment that they were supposed to send me um, for like some merchandise for to going out and doing some networking and stuff like that, a hat, sweatshirt, stuff like that. Um, and they ended up sending me another package that originally wasn't mine, and it had all of these smokes in them.
Oh, nice.
So, and this was something I put out. I had a care package video that I posted on my Instagram. It was, it wasn't a hidden story. I ended up getting a bunch of these, and it was ended up seeing somebody else's order. They made it right. They immediately emailed. I called them. While she was on the phone with me, I spoke with the girl Erica who runs in the managers runs the managing in the office in the Nevada branch,
Hmm.
and she immediately was on the email searching who it was. Hey, we accidentally mixed up orders. We are resending you your order. What we sent you, please keep it.
Yeah.
And we're going to send you some other stuff for the inconvenience. We're going to send we'll give you a discount, whatever. And they were like, you know what? We're going to end up. We've already cleaned that up. We fixed that. Hold on to these. Do some good with them. So I've made it. I had 7 of these rocking and rolling when I first got them. Um, and I went out and I made bundle packs, and I went out to a couple of local fields, and I actually made a couple of videos about it too. Um,
Nice.
and I found people who had never used grenade before, who had never used smoke,
Oh, okay.
and I went out and I straight up was like chilling. And one of my first ones, the kid was like, "Anybody got a smoke?" Actually, yeah, it's perfect. That's why I'm here. And he just, he's like, "I don't know how to use it," so I tossed it to him, explained him how to use it. Kid pulled it threw it perfect. I said, "Hey, go to it. I'll get you on camera." After the event, like he got up to the smoke. He got a couple kills. He died. He'd come back, and oh, that was awesome. I really appreciate it. Went out into the parking lot, told his dad. I went up to his dad and I asked for permission. Is it okay that his face was hidden because he was underage. His face was hidden on camera. He wasn't close enough to me to see him or whatever. But is it okay if I use that, to make a video? He's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
We subscribe to everything. Blah blah blah. So that was great, and that was kind of what my day was about. I went out with a box of them and found people that had never used them, just because I wanted to kind of a spread the name, b spread the fun, and give back to
Right.
the people of where I've been growing and playing most of the time. So,
Uh-huh.
um, and then I did the same thing. When I went to this past event at Syndicate 4. Sadly, they weren't allowing smokes because of the fire ban. Um, but I was doing the same thing. I went around and I got some smokes passed out and was able to tell people about the product.
Nice.
And they are also doing a lot of cool new things. They're not just doing, the smoke grenades. Over in the UK, they have a lot of stuff that I really wish we could get over here. Their restrictions are a lot
Yeah.
less strict than ours, and they have all the cool flashbangs. They have all the
Right.
cool flash sticks and stuff. Um, they have all the access to the EG67s as much as they can. Um, those now, as I don't know if you've seen that post from them, they are just now being able to get those back into the United States, and
Yep.
those beginning of June, maybe even a little bit sooner, hoping, fingers crossed, they'll be able to get most stuff ordered to all of their wholesalers. So fingers
Yeah.
crossed on that.
When I first started talking with guys in the UK, they were talking about all these different things that they have, and like they're way more into airsoft stuff. Like they're able to get all these different things, and yeah, it's pretty wild. You know that one? What's that one that they use? It looks like a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher, and it's just the tube, right? So they light it, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they stuff it in the
yeah.
tube, and then they hold it, and it goes off and shoots
Yeah,
out
I
like a
mean
Roman candle.
right. Those are kind of like the same things. They have the mini ones where it literally is just a stick. It kind of looks like a road flare.
Yeah.
You bust the cap off, they flip it over, they snap it, and they throw it, and that's their banger. It's not like a
Hmm.
grenade. It's just a snap that goes pack,
Yeah.
and they kind of. I mean, in my opinion, that's just like an M80
Yeah.
without a fuse.
Yeah. It's cool.
I wish we could be doing stuff like that. I
Right.
think it'd
Yeah. I
probably be
didn't.
so much cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say we
Because
need
I
some
mean,
different options.
because like these are the new tag-in formula product.
Okay.
So they've changed after all the stuff that went down and whatever and all that crap. This is the new formula. This is the same as the AFG fours, the yellow, little mini yellow ones.
Yeah.
It's just gray. Um,
What did go on with them? Like what was it the ATF? Was it because they're a Russian thing when the Russian Ukraine war broke out? Was that
I mean, it all went down with all of that. It went down with a lot of things that were what was within inside of them
oh,
being a exploding device that they're shipping to the United States,
yeah.
and it was just I mean, the list went on and on and on and on of
But
what.
it was more of a legal thing, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't like somebody like a bunch of kids got their hands
no,
blown
it
off
wasn't. No,
or
it
like
wasn't even.
nothing.
It wasn't like a bunch of irresponsible kids went out and just were throwing them out of
Right.
cars and this and no. It was more legal
It was all
allegations and
legal
legal
stuff. Yeah.
all of it that came down to them.
That's
Um,
usually what like just messes up the fun for everybody, you know?
yeah,
It really
and
does.
I mean, it wasn't even. I mean, like we just said, it wasn't even anybody who was being irresponsible with the product or doing anything. I mean, sure, were there probably be people at the time doing irresponsible things, and that kind of helped the situation, probably, but that's not what it was, and a lot of the times, that's what also causes things to be lost is
Yeah,
people that are irresponsible with the product.
absolutely. Well, that's always how it is. With anything in life, it's always the stupid ones that mess it up for everybody. It's that one dude, right?
Yep.
This effing guy, huh?
Yeah.
It's
You're
always that
that
one
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, listen, I apologize right now for these damn notifications. I just now turned them off. So I got a new computer recently.
Oh, nice.
Bro, oh my gosh. So last weekend, not yesterday, but like 10 days ago, um, my older son, who used to be on the channel, Christian,
Yep.
uh, he he had this computer when he was here, gaming computer. All right, it was badass. So this is the one when I tell people, I've told people on the podcast before, the difference between his and mine that I've been using for 5 years, whatever, was when I would record a podcast, right? So
Yep.
hour and a half, 2 hour video. I would drop it into my editing program, and I would have to wait because I would have it on this thing where it would render, right? Kind
Yep.
of process the video before I would start editing it. And what it would do, I've tried it both ways. I tried starting to edit it before it was done processing, and it was just really laggy, okay, throughout the whole process.
Yep.
Or I could just wait for it to be done processing and then start editing it, and it would, and then it would go a lot smoother. So anyway, uh, the rendering or processing part that would take for a 2 hour video for my computer, it would take 15 to 20 some minutes
Yep.
for it to be ready for me to edit. Okay. And then when I'm done editing, and I don't do a whole lot of editing with these, but the podcast, I'll cut off like part of the beginning or the very, very end or whatever, and just add on the outro and shit. Okay.
Yep.
So, and then I go to save it. And when I save it as an MP4, my computer, a 2 hour video, it would take anywhere from an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the video, whatever. So for it to save. So this one, so he bought a new gaming computer and he gave me
Yep.
his old one. Okay. And so we got it set up last weekend. And I swear, dude, I'm spoiled. Like I am so spoiled right now. It is, I put everything in here, and the first video I did were the videos that came out this past weekend. Okay. So
Yep.
one of them was, a couple hours long, whatever. And I put it in, I dragged it into the editing program. As soon as I let go, it was instantly ready to edit. No wait time. So I edited it and I was like, nah, there's something wrong. Maybe it's not showing up like, processing or
It's
whatever.
not fully rendered. It's under
Yeah,
quality.
it's gonna lag. And so I
Yep.
started doing all this stuff, and I started doing it really quickly to see if I could tax the system, right? To see if it would slow
Yep.
down. It was flawless. And then I went to save it. Okay. And I had already done this video. I wanted to redo it with this computer just to have a, benchmark comparison.
Comparison. Yep.
So when I saved it on mine, it took an hour and 15
Oh,
minutes. Okay. Oh, you got a visitor.
there's my little buddy. Hey, buddy.
So this new computer, which is new to me, but uh, it took 13 minutes. So
Holy
all in
crap.
all, it took me 2 minutes to edit the video because it was I didn't have any lag. I didn't have to wait for anything. I clipped, delete, whatever, add the end on, save. When I click save, it was 13 minutes. So it took an hour and some minutes off. I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, holy cow, I got so much time now. Cause I, I was like, so anyway, I am spoiled as hell, but there's a few things that I forgot to kind of change. One of them was the notifications that like blaring loud when
I mean,
when it
I didn't
pops
hear
up.
anything. I hope mine didn't go off.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I literally last minute found some Bluetooth headphones. Those ones died. I had my other ones. Those ones died. So
No, it sounds good right now.
I finally ended up buying one of those uh, cheap little Ring cameras just so that way I don't have to sit here and hold my phone or prop it against anything. So I've got it on one of
Oh,
those
what are you
Ring
using? What is it?
cameras. Just like literally just one of those cheap $20 Walmart Ring cameras and a $20 Amazon tripod that screwed it together. And
Dude, the video looks great.
it's just my phone.
Oh, okay.
So literally whatever. And then I've got one of those octopus lights sitting
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, no, that's good, dude. Yeah, the audio is fine. Usually when people do, the biggest problem we have with audio is when somebody uses audio from their laptop camera or their laptop or webcam.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I did a comparison. I cut it out, but I did it on the last one I did when I was talking to the guy from
New Zealand. So
Oh, wow.
can you tell a difference?
Yep.
So so anyone listening or watching, listening, okay, you're gonna tell a huge difference with me talking right now with my audio because I turned off the mic and I went from to audio from the webcam. So this is what it sounds like when somebody tries to get in on here on their laptop without headset.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, we can't, no, I can't even do it, bro.
So what a difference, right?
Yep. Holy crap.
Isn't that crazy? So this is why that's one of the only things I'm kind of a stickler about on this is I really try to encourage people to have if they're not using their phone. The phone always does really good.
Yep.
Unless it's too far away.
Well,
But
that's why I remembered that from one of the
mhm.
first podcasts we did. That's why I went and searched for headphones like a crazy man. I was looking around like crazy. Like I'm hoping I can find some because I know that he's all about the audio. I gotta find it.
No, I remember what the first time you were on. I remember it was the your air conditioner was running, and it was kind of like maybe the air flow or
Yeah.
whatever was kind of messing up a little bit, counting as like background noise. So it was trying to cut it out, and it would mute you, and I couldn't hear every other word. But yeah, you're good, man. That's great. So yeah, that's
So other
cool.
than that, what's good with you? What's new with you? I mean,
So
are the boys getting out and playing yet? Are you trying to get out to any events soon?
I planned on going to an event with Paul, with the one he's doing, Otherworld Milsim. That is Jackal Tactical. They're
Yep.
going to be down here in at Barnwell at GTI in South Carolina in September. So
Gotcha.
we, my niece is up in Ohio. She's getting married that same weekend. So we knew that she was getting married. We had one of those save the date things, whatever.
Yep.
It's been on the fridge forever. I just didn't know when it was. So I had told when I had Paul on here, he was telling me about that event. I was like, oh, dude, I need to go to that. That'd be cool. And I was thinking the wedding was the week before or something like that, but it's that weekend. And we're going to go up and stay for my mom and two sisters are up there. We haven't been up there to visit in quite a few, like 3, 4, 5 years, something like that.
Yep.
And so we're going to go up there and stay for a week and hang out. So that was the only one I was planning on going to until one of the other guys was talking about going to Stonebreaker. And I was like, man, I really want to. I really want to. But we had the grandkids that weekend.
Yep.
We were watching them. So my daughter-in-law, her birthday fell on that weekend. They have 3 kids. So a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-month-old or 8-month-old. So they're busy.
That's a party.
And when they get when they get a chance to go out, it was her birthday that weekend. So Connor, my son, took her out, and we kept the kids overnight.
Yep.
So we were exhausted. I'm going to tell you, we're not used to having little kids around anymore. So when we have them spend the night, man, we're freaking worn out because we do all kind of crafts and, you know, cool stuff with them, and we're trying to keep up with them. And bro, they have pillow fights in here in the living room. You know, they jump from couch to couch, and we're winging pillows. And then she wants to do the Snapchat filters.
Oh
So
God.
I'm doing I'm pulling those up. I really need to make a short video of like a compilation of they're freaking hilarious. Like the way she acts on there, and then she'll have me say some stuff so I get in character and say all these different things with these weird looking faces on Snapchat filters. So it's hilarious, man. But yeah, so as far as events, that was the yeah, we're really busy, honestly, right now. We're with our kids, the grandkids, and then just other activities we're helping out with. And so yeah, it's been good though. We're having
Oh
fun.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Good to hear, man. Seriously.
My boys, no word for them yet on doing an event. So they're busy as well. So like Colton, who was on the channel, Coltrane, he he's married, has 2 kids. His stepson is 13, and he's really good at soccer. He plays on a traveling soccer team.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, and it's regional, so they travel. You know, we're in South Carolina. They'll travel 3-4 hours away. You know, stuff like that. Sometimes an hour, 45 minutes, but the longest they'll travel is 3, 4, 5 hours drive or whatever away. So he loves that, and he's really good. We've gone to some of his games. And then his daughter is in his stepdaughter's in gymnastics. She's
Yep.
8. So they're really busy. He works, both of them work full time, and then he works some overtime and stuff. So it's really difficult to get them together to do anything. We got to work out like all these birthday plans and just the family stuff, like
Right.
holidays and all that. Like they all work different shifts. Like my oldest son, Chris, he works a night shift. And so it's difficult to get, and he lives about 45 minutes away. He bought this house out in the middle of nowhere, bro. You know what's funny about him? So he is the ultimate gamer. Okay. He bought
Yep.
this, he's all that's a big part of his life. And so being online, doing all these games, blah, blah, blah. So he buys this house. It's out and he loves the property. It's like almost 2 acres. The neighbors are spread way far apart. It's like a small town.
Yep.
So neighbors are great. All right. They're and nobody bothers anybody, but they're friendly. But he's almost an hour away from us out in the sticks. Well, he didn't even think about this. He just assumed that all these places around here have high-speed internet. They don't. He's like, so he gets set up in there and he hooks up his computer. He's like, shit. There's no like
Someone get
cable.
off the phone.
There's no cable in the house. Like, and I was like, yeah, they don't have Spectrum out there, and he's like, oh my God. Anyway, so he got this like really cheesy satellite internet, whatever, when he first got there.
Yep.
And something we had never heard of. It's like a local thing or whatever, Hughes or whatever. So then he was like, yeah, this ain't working, dude. I can't even barely get on Netflix. So he got the Elon Musk, what is it called? Starlink.
Yeah. Starlink. Yep.
So the only one he's on the waiting list for the real Starlink. He's got the RV version. It's like the traveling one, the portable one,
Yep.
and it works fine for him. So he does okay with that. But it was just funny how he didn't really expect that. But so he's doing good. Yeah, but they don't have any plans on doing any kind of airsoft stuff right now. So Not even the podcast. I tried to get them on the podcast. We can't figure out a schedule. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It's fine.
You got to pick a day, have them line it up.
Right. What I need to do is just call them randomly. And then,
Oh, hang on a minute. I got to do something.
Yeah.
Hey, would you look at that?
Right.
Welcome aboard.
And just record it, bro, for real. Catch them off guard.
Yep, 100%.
And then Johnny's busy. He's got his little boy. Yeah. So, but they're all doing well.
It's good to hear. No, because I remember when, like you were saying, I was seeing the other one on there for a little bit, and I will say it's funny because I went back and I watched some of the review videos and stuff like that. So it's always just funny to see some of those things.
I really I'm tempted to do like maybe on an anniversary day or something like that. Like, okay, this video came out let's say it came out today, May 6th, whatever video it was from our, 3 years ago when we were doing the reviews and unboxings, just repost it, or post make a short video out of it and post that and say, circa 2019 or something.
Right. Well, and it's funny because that's actually something like I've looked into and I've thought about, because like I ended up getting rid of my MCR Fight Light, which was an LMG. I ended up getting rid of that, and then I plan on getting rid of one of my other Block 2 / MK18s. But like, I loved that gun when I first bought it as an AEG, and I did a review video on it. I have it saved in the cloud somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious when I first bought that rifle to what they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And doing a comparison, another video. Hey, this is the Gen 1 of when you brought it out. My video was 3 years ago. This is now 3 years later with your newest model.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But I think it's funny with doing things like that and bringing the voice back into it. I definitely think that.
Well, one of the things I miss a lot, and I've said this before, is just like camaraderie stuff that we would have going on, just messing around and joking around. I'd make those blooper videos from a lot of things, because we're, when we have 4 of us and I'm filming and I'm like, okay, let's kind of do this, or let's set this up for reviewing this gun or whatever. There's always jokes between Johnny, Christian, and Colton. They're always messing around because they've known each other since they were young teenagers, middle school or whatever. So and they all have very different personalities. So it worked well together. It was a good dynamic. And so I'd always make those I really miss that, and I know they do too, but like I said, just getting the time to do this. Me and my wife are in this house alone now. So all of our kids are moved out. And so I can just come in here anytime. I have no obligations during the week, really, at night, unless we're watching, one of the kids or grandkids or whatever. So I just schedule these,
Yep.
But those guys, man, that was the other thing too, was why we, remember we were doing the monthly backspin.
Yep.
Same thing happened with that. It was really difficult to get. Well, it was me and Mr. OT. Then it was however many 3-4 guests that we had, and they're all in different states. So time zones. We're trying to figure out scheduling. Like, dude, it got to be really difficult. So, and honestly, one of the things I didn't want to happen was I didn't want people to okay, we schedule something, and then because, if something happens, somebody has to cancel, or, hey, can we reschedule? I didn't want that to happen numerous times to where they start feeling bad.
Yeah.
Like I want people to have good feelings about being on here and about scheduling it and looking forward to it. Not, oh man, I had to cancel because of my son this or my job that, and just whatever. And I understand that. But even if you tell somebody, hey man, it's no big deal, like I don't mind, they still in the back of their mind, like they feel bad. And I didn't want that. So we kind of stopped for a while. We planned on picking it back up. We never did. So it's totally fine. But I miss a lot of the group ones. They're cool.
Well, I was saying that's something that's like, I wish that we could, around here, I'm sure we could find, or I could find people that would, but it's a lot of, like you said, there are a lot of people that are different, like-minded. So it's like, finding a general concept of just bringing people on to talk about one thing, or just to talk about airsoft, or just to
Mm-hmm.
talk about something that, and not bring anything else up into it. Like, I understand, like, you know, you
Yeah.
pretty much you're where this is open game. Talk
Right.
about anything, everything, whatever. But like certain times and sometimes when you bring people together like that, it's hard to stay away from
Yeah.
certain things.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Well, that's why I like, so this one is very different setup, very different style as
oh,
compared to,
you're gonna see the
uh,
egg on my head, by the way.
is that what you got injured? You
Yeah,
smacked your head on something?
I was working on the machine, working on one of my machines, and the door, they don't
Oof.
have locking hinges. They have just easy hinge, so I could take the door off quickly if I had to.
Right.
And I just lifted the door with my shoulder on accident, and the door came off the hinge. The hinge came out, and the door came on me, and it was up in the air. So
Oh,
the whole door just shoulder, head down to the floor, glass all over.
oh shit. Broke the
So
window
I
and
was like,
everything.
great. So I'm rocking a headache. I got a nice big old goose egg on the top of my head.
Dude, yeah, for real.
Yep.
Well, that's crazy, man.
I was trying to hide it with the hat, but the headache's kicking.
I
So
was gonna
we're gonna
say
take it
if
off.
you
We're
yeah, if you have a
okay.
headache then and you have a hat on, that's not gonna work. Yep.
Yeah. But
Well, you're good, man.
anyways,
You're good. But yeah, this is very different than Def Row. So Def Row has his podcast is structured and it's fun. Like he's got questions. He's got like these topics. Okay, let's talk about this. And and it's way different than this style. And even in the beginning, I recommended people when I was like, dude, go get on. You don't have to just get on this one. Like that doesn't, it's a totally different experience. It's different things are going to come up when you're on that one too. And then Admin Airsoft just started one, which I think
yep.
is really cool. I've been watching his as well.
Yep. I think then
So
I was watching his episodes. I like what he's doing with his stuff.
absolutely.
Um, I mean, I thought about doing something just kind of like not necessarily a podcast because I don't have all the info, like all the. I mean, I know you don't need a lot to do shit, but I
Nah.
wouldn't sit there. I don't have the equipment to do stuff like that. I don't have editing like we were talking about editing. I literally anything and everything I edit is literally all off my phone.
Yeah.
Everything is GoPro app, TikTok, CapCut. I'm getting out with it for the free version of what I can
Yep.
because to me, I'm not really like, and I think that's a big difference between me and some and most content creators is, they'll sit there and they will full blown nitpick like to the millisecond of their timing and how words are, voices and how,
Yeah.
audio lines up or music lines up. I literally more times than not, and I kid you not, and I'm going to be straight, and I've told people this. I more times than not will go in. Okay, let's say I've got 2 hours worth of footage. I know I can make a 6 minute video from
Mm-hmm.
that footage. I'm going to go in and I'm going to select 10 minutes of that 15-minute footage that I think is the best. And they could be just random clips most times. And I literally will put it into an edit, and the GoPro app literally does the work for you.
Yeah. Cuts it
It
down.
highlights things, it cuts things, it trims things down,
Mm-hmm.
and by the end of it, you have a 4 to 6 minute video.
Yeah,
Sure,
those are great.
more times than not, I don't like what GoPro selects for the highlights or the edits. So I'll go in, and that's where it'll take me the extra hour, hour and a half with my fat, chubby sausage fingers to sit on my screen and select things and edit things and do
Yeah.
things. But like I could care less if it's the best high quality fucking edited video.
Right.
As long as I've got something out there to put out there to show just me what I'm doing and where I'm at or whatever. Or
Mm-hmm.
like when I did the smoke video, I gave out 10 smokes that day. I just literally all I cared about out of the 5.5 hours of footage I had was the 10 clips of the kids getting smokes
Yeah.
or people getting smokes. So
It's a
editing,
log, man. Like these are logs, like what you're doing, like that, like showing those kind of things, like the generosity and the camaraderie that you're building with, bringing these younger players in and like give them something cool like that. Like those are cool moments, man. That they should be on on video and saved because they're, 5 years from now, these guys, that are 14, whatever now,
Yep.
when they're still playing, or maybe they got out of it after high school and then they're going to go back, you get back into it with a friend. They're going to like, dude, I'm on that guy's video on his YouTube channel. Like it is cool to show your friends. It is cool to show your family. And we're creating this huge log, almost like a family tree of who's connected to who. And you were on this video and you had this kid on here. And I think it's cool, man. That stuff happens all around the globe.
I think it needs to happen more, quite
Yeah,
frankly,
I do too.
because because it's funny because like when you mentioned Ballahack earlier, the first thing that came to mind was the Swamp Sniper and how him and the guy that runs the social media for Ballahack, they go around and they do the, it's actually funny. It's not golden, but they go around and they're, all right, what can you give me that's bigger or better than this? And they trade up to, a full-size brand new rifle. And then he just randomly goes, hey, oh, I hear this is your first day here. Cool. Here you go.
Yep.
Like that stuff to me is like what I want to see more of. I want to see less of this. I'm going to mag dump you, or I'm going to scream and yell at a ref, and I'm the coolest, fastest looking guy, and I'm so tactical. Just show people that you're playing Airsoft. Like, okay, cool. All right, different. You're at a Milsim event, or you go to Milsim West, or, you go to Lions Claws, or you go to American Milsim. Sure, show us what you're doing. But I can't stand the content creators that's all they do. And I'll say it, and I don't care what people think or say about it. I can't stand that kind of content.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. And that's like what leads me to the other off-topic things of like what's going on with Instagram and Facebook and Meta. And, like Admin was talking about it. Admin's been dealing with that stuff a lot. I got a buddy of mine that I've met through social media here, and I finally just met him at Syndicate 4, call sign Balrog.
Oh, yeah.
He's done. He just officially, like, I'm done with Facebook. I'm done with Instagram.
Yep.
I'm done.
He's on Twitter.
I'm all done with them because of the things that they're allowing on Instagram or Facebook, but yet they're not restricting or they're not doing other things with other stuff.
Yeah.
Like the fake accounts and the special people that you can follow. Like, it's unreal.
It is.
I mean, just alone on Facebook, getting pictures tagged. Like, okay, he literally I don't know if you follow him, but so like he made it very clear, and he took a screenshot of the post that he flagged to Instagram, and it was a picture of some models, we'll say.
Yeah.
And nothing came. He got the review, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, we didn't remove this post, or we didn't remove this account, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, he literally posted a picture of 2 buckings.
Yep.
Next to each other.
For anyone that doesn't know, a rubber bucking or a bucking is an internal piece of airsoft gun that is, how would you describe it? Like a little cylinder shaped type of thing that's a real thin rubber.
It's a thin rubber. I would call it more or less like a thin rubber grommet that allows the adjustment of your hop-up nub. So that way, then it realistically holds your hop-up nub in place and creates a tighter air seal between your nozzle, the hop-up, and the barrel.
And it doesn't look like anything vulgar or weird. Like, it can't be mistaken for anything else. Like, people that don't know what it is, they would look at it and go, okay, what is this piece of rubber sitting here? Like, what?
I mean, do you think this will get flagged if I show one, for crying out loud? Like,
no. And I don't care anyway, so.
But so it's like that just blows my mind.
Yeah, show one if you got it right there.
It's like those kinds of things. It's insane with how nitpicky they
the
can
inconsistency is the hardest part for us to deal with, and that's what we're frustrated about. And this is why. So yeah, he left. He's one of my followers on Twitter, and I follow him on Twitter. And it is difficult to find airsoft and paintball in general on Twitter, but that's not Twitter's fault. That's our fault for not, because we've been on Instagram and Facebook for years.
Right.
That, so we've been building that up. And I'm saying, hey, man, let's go. All right, everybody, come on. We can all help each other. When you get on Twitter, send out a tag me, tag whoever. We'll start. It'll build up quick if we all go over there, and then we won't have to worry about your account getting shut down and having to start over.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. So like when it comes to like getting content out there or people being, getting the spectrum and the view of things, I kind of see where they're coming from in terms of the outreach and like where like how people are found on these programs and these platforms and stuff, because like he's right. If you go to the search page on Instagram, 90% of it is things that I don't look up.
No.
So it's like, okay, cool. And then if you type in airsoft or hashtag airsoft, sure, you maybe will see 5 or 6 posts. But then the rest of it is just random cars, girls, animals, food.
Yeah.
That's not the point of what you're doing. Granted, that's my thing. In terms of the social networking nowadays, it is more actual social networking rather than an outreach program.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it like that in terms of the other actual definition, but like it's like an outreach program in that aspect. Like I tag Milsim. I want people that are looking up hashtag Milsim to be able to see me. Yeah, sure, that's what the whole point is. But I'm sorry, that's like Facebook. Hey, E-Rock, do you want to send me a friend request on Facebook? Cool. Here's my name. Send me a friend request. Boom, done. That's my networking.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it now. Now with the amount of crap that's going on and you can't get that outreach, that's how I'm trying to not fight that same bug of I'm done with them because of that crap. But bucking.
I think oh yeah, there's a bucking. Okay. Yeah, it looks like, you know what? From that angle, it almost looks like a piece of chalk or a half of a crayon or it looks like a one of those markers, a cap for a kid's
an expo marker.
Yeah.
Yep. But literally he had 2 of them placed next to each other just like this. So that's all you saw was 2 of them right next to each other as a comparison. And he got shadow banned.
Isn't that crazy?
And that post was removed and it was flagged and it was taken down.
And the thing is, they say what terms of service, what does that violate? What could that picture violate? I don't even get it, bro.
I mean, it didn't even look like a pair. That's
what I'm saying. It didn't resemble anything vulgar or nothing. Like that wouldn't matter anyway, because there's literally girls on there that are 99.9% naked. Okay. And the parts that aren't covered or the parts that are covered are still showing through. Okay. And it still is okay.
Yep. Or it's like, I see it too, like a new thing where, again, on a different platform or TikTok, like you'll see videos of things, but in the background, it's edited into that video.
Yeah.
So it's like shadow playing. It's like, what kind of new stuff are you trying to get out now? Like that's what it's that all that crap in there, why they're done with it. And that's like why I've been.
So my search on my Instagram. So last year when I was flipping houses, my buddy, he would always mess around. Like, cause we know our phones listen and they pick up things that are said, keywords and stuff. So we were working one day and he said it, I don't know, like 50 times. Every time he'd walk past the area I was working on the drywall, he would walk by and go, midget porn. So, so I was like, dude, stop it. So when I would, no shit, when I would go to my search, those videos, and then on my feed, I would start getting stuff on my Instagram feed that were those short videos. They're really funny. Those short people that are doing like the Olympics or whatever, where they're doing a javelin. And they show the guy throwing a javelin, and then
it's a toothpick.
Yeah, it's a toothpick hitting the guy's t-shirt. So all those things started coming up. I never searched it, but it was because he was saying these words. So a lot of this stuff is, no matter, if you're talking about something, it's that's what's going to show up.
Yep.
But yeah. So me and him went over to Twitter. So he's one of the only ones that's liking my stuff on Twitter. Actually, the guy that I talked with in New Zealand, that podcast that just came out Sunday, that guy found me on Twitter. He doesn't have an Instagram. He has YouTube and Twitter. And I was like, yes, finally, we got, okay, one more. Let's start branching out here to get some other people on Twitter so we can all have this, Twitter and Rumble, man. I've just been really kind of focused on that Spotify, for the podcast part. But I don't have too much problem with the podcast, except when people are showing off all their stuff, which I mean, that's part of it. I want it to be show and tell.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to censor that stuff out like that. What's the point? Okay. We want to, everyone in Airsoft is like half of the game is showing off your gear, showing off what gun you got, and then talking about it, like what'd you do in the internals. So it's a big part of it. And I want people to be able to do that. So yeah, don't worry about it. And speaking of that kind of stuff, you said you went to Syndicate recently. Did you take any new guns, new gear that you tried out? How did that go?
No. So I mean, most of us actually. Well, a lot of I ran some new gear. I changed up the loadout a little bit because I wanted to try to run a little bit lighter. I ended up having the honor and the privilege. Shout out to DH608 Cutthroat.
Cutthroat, yeah, buddy.
He got me into running as Op4 with Dark Horse Milsim at the Syndicate 4.
Oh shit.
So we were kind of like running along or working with the event runner, and you already have heard, and I know you were watching Matty Mo's live stream, and I'm sure you've watched some of the other videos and things that went on at the event.
Yeah.
And heard some stuff, but long and short, regardless of how the event went, good or bad, as some people are, most aren't, I'm taking positive from that.
Sure.
I had a great time with my friends. I had a great time running with a team, quite frankly, that I have been following for a very long time, just socially. Hey, I've been a follower. This is awesome. I get to run with a group of people that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And being able to see other people, other friends, do other networking with other groups. And, that's what, for me, it's all about. I'd rather have a great weekend doing that, even if the game sucked.
Yeah.
As much as, sure, I just spent all that money to do it. I'm there.
Well, I definitely understand the gripes that I've seen and I've heard. Totally understand it. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, overall, I've seen some good as well. Like people that have posted, yourself included, that you had fun there, and I'm sure there's more. There's a lot of people that had fun, and some that didn't. And I understand those gripes that they were talking about, and yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's whatever. Not every event's going to be perfect. There's some event coordinators out there that have been doing it quite a long time that are really, really done well. Milsim West, the big ones. Milsim West, TCA, Third Coast Airsoft, American Milsim, Op Line Claws, right? What's the other? There's another one I think I'm missing. That's Valahak, and now with a couple new ones, not new, but new to me anyway, that I've heard of, the 6mm Mandalorian, his stuff, and Otherworld Milsim. So they're they have all these groups, but the top ones have been doing it for a while, and they're really organized, they're professional. And they got a lot of cool stuff going on,
And I think, and again, it's just certain things you can control.
Yeah.
Certain things you can't.
Sure.
And it's just one of those things that I think that's where a lot of, gripes and a lot of issues were. And again, I as much as certain things affected me, and you know what? I was pissed off a couple of times with some of the things that happened.
Yeah.
You know what? I went back to Respawn. I put I took my bandages off, put my red rag away, and I went back out and I did it again.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
How was it running with, was that your first time running with this team?
Yes, with running with Dark Horse Milsom, that was the first time. It was freaking fantastic. Those guys, it's awesome. I mean, I'm running with the old team and with other people. It's just always awesome when you can literally only chatting with all of them except for Cutthroat. Cutthroat's the only one on the team that I had played with before, and I had played with him at Grimnir Tactical's Operation Arclight.
Okay.
Literally, besides him, hadn't run with anybody.
Nice.
Seen their videos, they seen mine. It was like, hi, my name's Nick, or hi, my name's Peanut.
Right.
Ready, clear.
Let's go. Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to Matty Moe real quick before we end that topic, because doing that after action report, the live stream, he still has up on his Instagram if you guys want to go watch it. Mo Bros Airsoft or Matty Moe.
Yep.
Go find him, watch it if you want to see what we're talking about with that event. He was very professional, I thought, on the video, and he's actually really good at that, like with the typing up and writing up these after action reports for certain events. And I thought he handled it really well, and I enjoyed being able to be a part of it because I feel like I was able to vent a little bit but not be destructive.
Yep.
And it really helped clear the air. So shout out Matty Moe for holding that event. I think it was really helpful.
Yep. I mean, there were things I'm the kind of person, again, I say, certain things about the event were bad. Yes. I will say things that were good, whatever. I don't think that I will sit here and make videos and I will make posts and will I give an AAR to an event runner in a Discord or something like that? Absolutely. I don't know if I'd do videos just because I don't want to sit here and say the wrong thing, unless, I sat like Matt does, sits there, he types it out, he reads it, he goes off of his list, he gets his bullet points, which is great. That's professional. It's awesome how he does that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just don't think I could have that time to sit down and do something. But when I ran with Dark Horse, we had AARs, we passed them up the food chain and the food chain passed them on. So it was just one of those that
nice.
A lot of the times that's how it happens. And I would prefer it to do it that way. I would prefer it to just, instead of making it so, and I'm not making this something, and it wasn't a bad call on Matt. It's just, that's what the people wanted. And Matt gave the opportunity for people to vent. I think it went too far when it came to like when people were on the live stream watching, not Matt's live
I didn't
stream.
see that. Okay, so
not
I saw
Matt's
the
live
first
stream.
part.
The other live stream that the event runner did, it just, the comment section was unreal.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay. I was actually, I was busy. Brandon from Skirmish texted me and said, are you able to watch the live stream with players wanted or whatever? And I was like, no, I was in the middle of something. So, but yeah, I actually didn't go back and watch it. So I don't know.
And which sucks that too, when it comes to Skirmish, at least, like, I think that would have been a great point to use the system would have ran great and helped for that event. But there were some sour apples that did some things to the boxes, and their batteries died in boxes, so it kind of sucked. But again, like I said, it's one of those things. I just didn't want to be an advocate, kind of like how it happened on the event runners live stream, where it just became a
right.
Like, sure, there were some people in there doing what our live stream is about. Like, come in, make your comment, we'll talk about it, and then we'll, whether it was a right comment or a bad comment, we'll fix it. We won't fix it. Whatever. Let's move on. Here we go. But a lot of the people in the comments were just
bashing.
Which, again, I understand. You have gripes, you have upsettings, but there is a time and a place. You want to give someone a full-blown gripe, send them a goddamn email.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just plain and simple. Be an adult. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But again, I won't say I'm sorry. If that's how you're going to do it, don't. That's my general opinion. If you really have that much gripe about something, send them a direct email and put your phone number.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I really am upset. A, B, C, D. Thank you. I'd love to hear from you. That's it. That's just how I look at it. But gear-wise, getting off that, because I don't want to keep going on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, what you got?
I ran a new chest rig. I ran just a Fridex fast pack chest rig. Lightening the load from the plate carrier, trying something different. I liked it. Couple couple of things that I'm definitely going to end up changing when I do run that. But at heart, I'm a plate carrier person, and I cannot stand chest rigs all that much. Just because the fact of, with me, chest rigs, because I was a bigger dude, I had a lot of meat to hold up, so that's why I love plate carriers, because it held everything in there, and that's just what I'm used to.
Okay, yeah.
But like plate carriers, for me, unless they're, like with chest rigs, you have to have these things so tight, unless they're, you get reinforced strapping or you get better strapping. Like, this is just a low end rig. If I tighten these anything tighter than what they were on my body, I would have ripped the things off. So I wasn't trying to do that. So that was just my thing, where it was, it would come loose even if I would tie it or, snug it back or whatever.
So those don't have like the cummerbund thing that like the plate carriers do.
No, so they're literally with just these cheap chest rigs, and this is kind of like the it's a knockoff. I would call it the knockoff Haley Strategic.
Yeah.
But literally.
Oh, and the only thing holding it, oh wow, are those side straps.
It's just there's buckles.
Really no other way to. So it needs like a way to attach to your belt or something, like.
Well, so it's like
hold it
a
from
lot
jiggling.
of people, if they upgrade the system, they can upgrade. They change out the strapping, they change out the cummerbunds, or they, if you see some of the Haley Strategic stuff, they have pouches that you can link into the side panels. But again, it was just something different, something as a lightweight thing, or if I want to go to the weekend field and not run the whole shebang, then I don't have to. And then, no, just my normal, I bought this last year, running the MTW. She was running great, but sadly, I had issues with this when I bought it back in September last year.
Okay.
Reached out to the people I bought it from, and, they helped me out. I sent it back to them. They found an issue with, I guess there was a little piece of white tape that made a communication issue with the selector switch, which caused it to think that it was in a burst mode while it was in semi. So sent it back to them. They replaced it. I got it back. It worked. I took it to the field and I ran it. And it came back with a bigger issue. It wasn't building up pressure. It wasn't firing right. So I emailed them and then didn't hear from them. So I reached out to Wolverine. Wolverine took over the case. They've been super, super, super helpful. The original people I got it from, they were helpful. I talked to the owner of the original buyers today, and they got me some information. I ended up getting a coupon from them.
Okay.
But Wolverine has taken it over. They sent me a shipping label. So tomorrow, I got to get this thing back in the mail. I got to get it stripped down after this, get it back in the box to send it back to them, because it's still having a major stiction issue is what they're calling it.
Huh.
It is some sort of a pressure-related problem, whether it's within the system or whether it's my regulator tank line setup.
Yeah.
Where it is causing that misfire. So I have a video. I wish I could multi show.
Is it on your Instagram?
No, but
I can pull it up.
Let me do this then. I might be able to do it like this.
You can send it through here. There's a
chat.
That's
what I was just going to try to do this. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear it or play it. I just sent it to you on a private on Instagram. Do you have that on the computer?
Yeah.
It'll check it out. Take a second to send.
Yeah, it'll take a minute.
But it double feet. Here it goes. See if they're helpful.
Yep. All right, let me.
And this was at Syndicate. It's just a quick clip of shooting out one of the doorways.
Okay.
But it's weird. I don't know if you hear that. It's a faint microburst. You'll hear me sit there and go pop 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 pop, and then you'll hear like pop pop or pop 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 pop.
Yep.
So it's making some sort of a pressure issue where it is not allowing the system to do what it's supposed to or whatever, and it's not necessarily double feeding like people would think. Oh, it sounds like a double feed, and it's not loading two BBs and shooting them at the same time.
No.
The solenoid and the nozzle are making full rotations
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously. I mean,
It sounded like it
as
almost
fast
sounded
as it could
like
possibly go.
you're shooting semi, and then all of a sudden, it's like going in a burst mode, and then
Right.
semi,
Yep.
right? Or almost like that those couple of shots you had a binary trigger or something because it shoots so quickly after.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's what they said, and that's what they've been going off of. And originally when Wolverine, I sent it back to them the first time, they swapped out the solenoid, brand new, no problem, no questions asked. They sent it back to me. They tested it, it worked. They sent it back to me. I field tested it, it worked. And then I ended up getting to this event and like full blown, like putting the dog to work. And it went right back to
That
the original issues I had with it. So gratefully, they've been awesome. They sent me a shipping label. I'm gonna get it back in the box and send it back to them tomorrow. So hopefully they can dig. Hopefully they can dig into and find a resolution. I'm also going to include my regulators because I thought they asked me today. The other company asked me today, what tank and what regulator setup are you running? What airline are you running? And I when I originally sent it in, I told them I'm running an SLP, HK Army 68 4500 carbon with the Wolverine Storm regular, the black, the OG one with an amped Airsoft premium weave airline. Okay, so that's doesn't seem to be the issue because that's an SLP tank with an SLP regulator, and it's just an airline.
Yep.
So they didn't understand it, but then they said, it might be your regulator. Okay, so I bought a amped custom, like the ones that they build.
Yeah.
One of their SLP regulators, and I slapped it on there. Worked great, worked fine, and that's what I ran at this event, and we're back to square one.
Oh man, that sucks. Okay.
So I'm gonna send them both the regulators. I wish I could send them the tank without having to look up the whole deal of how to do it, what to do, and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least I can send them the regulators. I've got packing stuff to wrap those up. So that way they can slap it on a tank, and hopefully maybe they have a tank that's just like mine to make that comparison. Because I know that normally when they make their tests, they're using like Ninja tanks.
Okay.
So they're using like the top line tanks and stuff like that. For me, again, if it makes that big of a difference, sure, I'll buy a new tank. Sure.
I don't think it'll, but doesn't it, the regulator is what, like once the pressure from the tank hits that regulator, anything after the regulator is, the tank really doesn't have anything to do with it, right?
Correct.
Because the regulator adjusts.
That's only in case as long as you're playing with SLP tank to SLP regulator. Like he was asking with question of if it was an SLP tank or not, because if you play with one that is not, and you're playing with an SLP regulator, it's kind of like putting the square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
You're not using the right things to part with.
Yeah.
So, but again, I know for a fact they're all SLP regulators. They're all both my tanks are identical. I bought them the same day so that they have the same hydro date. So that way when they go out together, I can go rehydro them together. And then when that
really, so explain that. So, what is so that's a variable that could happen if you buy a tank that's made the same model, but it's made months different from the other one or whatever.
No, so we're gonna make a big mess there. Yep. No, so oh Jesus, I just cleaned it too. No, so the only thing that will mess up or do anything wrong with the system or problem with it would be running SLP or non-SLP with vice versa.
Okay.
When it comes to what I was saying about the tank and the dates, it's just with your tanks they have a hydro date for how much or for how long they can hold their pressure.
Oh, okay.
So on the bottle, there's right here.
Yeah.
You see the whatever. Yeah, I think it's 01 or 07 and then 22.
01, 22, yeah.
So this bottle was set out, certified, and whatever on the 1st of January of 22.
Yeah.
So this bottle from January 22nd or January of the 22nd year, I have 5 years for this bottle.
Oh, okay.
And then once that 5 years goes up, technically, if I go to a field and they go, huh, it's actually 5 years in one day,
Yeah.
you can't use this
Oh, okay. Because of the
because it's out
integrity
of
of the
date.
tank is
It's not certified. It's not safe.
right.
So they ask you if you're going to do it. You can find places online. You can certain places depending where you live. You can take them and you can go get them recertified.
Oh, and they like
And
pressure test it.
correct. That's all it is. Though
Yeah.
you send it to them. They send it out to a pressure testing system or a pressure test place, and they'll send it back with a new date on it. They'll
Oh,
however they
okay.
would take off the date and put a
Yeah.
new one on it.
Interesting.
Um,
What about regulators? Do they have expiration dates as well?
I wouldn't want to say expiration dates. It's more of how long you use and abuse it and how long you will you take care of it.
So what's inside a regulator? Do they have like O-rings that could wear out or dry out? Oh, okay.
So I mean,
Yeah.
just alone. So this is the amp regulator. This has, and it's funny, I hadn't even taken off the
The
zip
lock.
tie yet.
Yeah.
So just that gets held on by a zip tie, but this is just their custom 3D cap that they use
Right.
that locks it, so people can't say you're messing with your FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I gotta go back in here because I need an airline.
Don't knock anything out, bro.
No, I know. I'm trying. Just gotta reach for everything.
I mean, you don't have to. I don't
Need an
mind.
airline. I gotta do things right because if I don't, I break stuff, and I don't like breaking things.
Yeah, no, do it right. Don't break
Um,
stuff.
but no, so I mean, the regulator alone, right inside, you've got on the top of the tank itself, two on the top there. So you have, I mean, on the top of the tank right here, you've got two.
Right.
So that, I mean, and that doesn't do anything. And then you have inside here, the valve, there's an
Right.
O-ring inside that valve,
Oh,
O-rings on the
okay.
bottom of this. And then inside, there's one inside the ring here. There's one inside that plunger that hits that plunger on the tank.
Yep.
You know, there's one on top of this,
The adjust.
the adjuster screw underneath here
Yep.
that creates that seal for pushing the plunger down.
Right.
And then again, I mean, from here forward, it goes, I mean, it's I would say a steel connector, and then it's literally Teflon taped
Mm-hmm.
and sealant and, you know, cementer or whatever, if you want JB Lube,
Sure.
however you want to call it. And then I don't know, honestly, I would assume inside of here looks like with O-rings, it kind of looks,
Yep.
in my opinion, probably like a fucking carburetor.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's got the jet, it's got everything, so that way it's in order to allow air through and able to do whatever it's got to do. This is how you adjust it.
Right.
So I mean, that's got to have a cap within
Yeah.
it. So I mean, they do. It's something these. I'm sure you can buy the kits to rebuild these from Amp. These are only $65 from Amp. Shout out to Amp. But
Shout out.
these are awesome.
Yeah.
For the people that are wanting to get into HPA and they don't want to spend the money on high end regulators and stuff like that, this is what people are getting into. This is, for me, it was a great backup. It's a great to have. It worked, and I would run it as a primary and whatever. But if you're looking for the lower end, they work. But you do have to, over time, rebuild them. If you don't clean them and you're getting dirt in them, you're not lubing them, whatever, O-rings will shit out. Seals will shit out.
Yeah, how do you clean a regulator, or how would you run lube through it? Or do you just use a not a toothpick, a Q-tip or something?
I mean, again, with this one, I'd have to look into Amped on terms of how to do this one.
Yeah.
I know with the Wolverine Storms, you can take them apart like your AR.
Oh, wow.
Full blown, take it apart. It comes with all the new, like when you buy a Wolverine Storm, I don't know about I would assume with the Cat 5s, they're new ones, they would. But when I bought my first two Wolverine Storms, one crapped out finally, but I still have the same original one. It comes with the O-ring rebuild.
Oh, okay.
So that way, as soon as O-rings crap out or you want to do a maintenance or a cleaning on it, from top to bottom, you can pull every
Swap them out.
piece off and take the whole thing completely apart to clean it.
Yeah.
Silicone, proper lube. I use the Texov gun lube. That's the only lube I'll use in terms of lubing for the HPA units, for my regulator, anything that I want to lube.
Yeah.
But you can literally take the whole thing apart and just, I mean, I use my rem oil from my gun just to get that nasty, that dirt, that grit out. Nothing, not crazy amounts of it.
Sure.
But just enough to get it out. Sure. Should I use silicone? Yeah. But I prefer something that gets a little bit more in depth and gritty, dirty out there.
Yeah.
So over time, yeah, they will crap out or things will go out, but that's just normal maintenance. I mean, that's just like your HPA units in your guns. Like you could crack a nozzle like that, but O-rings go. It's just general maintenance and service.
Right. Yeah, good tip. That's pro tip. Okay, people, clean your guns, clean your equipment, unless you want to have it fail. Yeah, unless you don't care. And then those are usually the people that don't take care of their stuff. Then they have issues like 6 months after they're playing. You know, they play every weekend or whatever. They use the crap out of it, and they go, I don't know why it's like misfeeded and not shooting right and this and that, whatever. I'm like, dude, clean your weapon.
When was the last time you at least took a can of air to it? That's like my bare minimum. That's something I had. It's funny because I used the last can I had. I buy it by the 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
I just go buy the computer air.
Yep.
And I literally carry a can with me. So that way at the end of an event, before I put the gun in the fucking gun case, I will set it on a table, I will put it on the ground, and I will
blow it out.
And blow out everything I can. Get into the mag well as much as I can. Yep. And just any nook and cranny I can get some dirt out, I will.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to take a chance. I paid $1,000 for this gun.
Yep.
I don't want it broken.
Exactly.
I mean, it's already. I mean, I'm having issues with it, but
right.
like any other gun,
not from
the guns that I build. I mean, going back, putting this one on the wall, it just goes to show like taking care of something. I bought this gun. I bought the unit in this gun. I think you've seen that one before.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought this unit in this gun. This is a Gen 1 Polar Star Fusion inside this gun.
Yeah.
When they first came out, I mean, this 4 rebuilds in terms of just cleaning O-rings and lubrication.
Yeah.
I could plug this gun and I could hit a football field no problem.
Whoa.
I mean, not, you know what, not fully, but like in that retrospect, like I could hit a solid shot, and I know that this rifle is going to be solid and reliable the second I plug something in, because I make sure it's clean and taken care of.
Right.
But a lot of people don't.
And that gun's had a lot of use.
She's seen some she's seen some shit. and that was before. This was seen as an AEG before.
Yeah.
So like this was the gun that I was talking about. Like I might consider getting rid of this gun just to get something else to put up to it. But like,
yeah,
as long as you take care of stuff, things will treat you well, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's most things in our lives, you know. Yeah.
But other than that, man, other things are going well. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Well, what do you got? What do you got coming up? Like, what are your plans? What are your big plans? So in case anyone hearing this wants to run with you or meet you on the field, where are you going the rest of this year? And then give a shout out to where people can find you.
Well, we'll start with the socials. Instagram, Milsom_Peanut. YouTube is Milsom Peanut Airsoft. I have a Facebook, but that's a little in-depth. You can get that if you see me on the field. I have a Airsoft Facebook that I link people in with if they want to add me on that.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you want to add me on Discord, and same thing, Milsom_Peanut, go ahead and add me on Discord. I'm not on the Twitter or Bumble or any of that. But with events-wise, I'm kind of laying low and slow right now just because I am prepping and gearing up for American Milsom's Iron Horse 6.
Ooh.
Got my ticket to go out and run with Koss. I'm running with my boy. Shout out to the Real Ease. We're going to be kicking it with some locals here from Apocalypse Clan. That's a new Massachusetts team here.
Okay.
Going to be doing that down at the Guardian Center in, I believe it's the
Georgia.
26th, 27th. Yeah, it's down in Perry, Georgia. And then after that, there might be like a little filler event for a friend of mine, for the guys that are up here on the wall. But after that, I am hoping and praying that I'm going to make it down to North Carolina, so I'll be in your neck of the woods.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go to Thunderdome.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to come down and check out Ops Lion Claw.
Yep.
And hopefully, as long as everything goes well, that will also be running with Dark Horse 6.
Awesome.
So we'll get to have some fun with that. And then after that, I'm not too sure. There's other things that I've already kind of looked at, but we shall see how the year takes us.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you being on, dude. It's been great catching up with you. And
you as well. I
go
appreciate it.
Get some rest. Heal your head, bro. Jeez. Put
Yep,
some ice.
I got an appointment first thing tomorrow morning, so we're gonna go kick it. But I
All
appreciate
right,
it, man.
brother.
Thank you for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. Enjoy.
Absolutely. All right. See you, man.
We'll catch you later.